Okay. Hey guys, how you doing? I am over here messing with Mello. Let me get situated. I hope everybody is doing awesome. And I think we're a little dark in here. Let me get some light going on here. There you go. I think it's a little bit better and stuff. I was messing around with Mello. Thank you guys. Thank you. Yes, my birthday is actually tomorrow. Turned 54. 54, Mello. 54. Okay, so yeah, and I'll be heading over to Richmond to help Cardito clean his apartment tomorrow, but that's okay. Hopefully I'll have many, many, many more, and I'm gonna make him take me out to dinner or something, you know. And everything. I see people are starting to come in, and that is awesome. The topic that I picked today was actually a topic that I've been getting a lot of questions on this week, and it's about hoops. Okay. There's one lady that was in our Facebook group, and she was asking about the magnetic hoop and which one to buy and stuff like that. And one of the things that I was thinking was, instead of buying the two magnetic hoops, you can buy one. So I said, you know what? Let me run down all of the hoops that I have, why I have them, what I use them for, and whether I thought it was a good purchase or not. So what I am going to do, guys, is I'm going to start with all the hoops that I use for my brother SC1900, okay? And I'm going to go down all of them, and I'm going to tell you which ones I like, which ones I don't, which I in my opinion, is a pretty good buy. But just know this also, as I'm showing you guys what I have. Think about the things that you embroider, okay? Because we don't all do the same thing, right? And every single project requires its own type of size hoop. So if, like, let's say you do a lot of baby onesies, you're gonna want to use a size 4x7. A 4x4 or a 5x7. You're probably not going to need a repositional hoop if you have a brother SC1900 or one of the bigger hoops. If small baby clothing is your thing. So I'm going to run down all of the hoops that I have. And then I'm going to talk about the different sizes and what it is that I like using those hoops for and stuff like that. So, let me see. Oh, I thought I turned this on. I wonder if, okay, I think maybe Mello turned it down. Let me turn this down because it's getting a little bit too bright and stuff like that. Okay, let me know if you guys can't see me or if you can't see anything, because I am going to be moving you guys around the room so that way you guys can see what hoops I use with what machine, okay? So we're going to scoot over here now, and I'm going to we're going to go travel now, and I'm going to put you on my cutting table, okay? And what I'm going to do is I have my SC1900 on, and let me reposition myself here. Let me change chairs too and stuff. And I see Mello left, which is, not that I want him to leave, but, he can sometimes get in the way, because Mello has a habit of, when I'm embroidering, to just like plop in front of the embroidery machine and take a nap right there, right when I have to get to the machine. So, but that's Mello, right? Okay. All right. So I'm going to position you guys right here. I know, and I'm looking right now, I could already see you guys are having a hard time seeing this, but that's okay. I will focus when it's really important for you guys to know, okay? Now, let's start from the beginning, okay? This is going to be really great, especially for those of you that just got your brother SC1900. This is going to be a good little segment, this little time frame right here in the video, okay? All right. You buy your brother SC1900, and what you get with it is this size, okay? Now I'm going to talk about all these hoops right here, okay? These are the ones that we actually use when we have the brother SC1900. I got the magnetic hoops here too. I got the repositional hoop as well, and I got the magnetic repositional hoop, and we're going to talk about each of them, okay? Now, when you buy the machine, and for those of you that already have it, already know this, when you buy the machine, you get one hoop, and the hoop that comes with it is a 5x7. This is a really, really good size for the simple fact that you can do a lot with this, okay? You can use it for baby onesies, all right? Now, you won't be able to probably put the hoop inside of the baby onesie, but the thing is, when you are embroidering baby clothes and stuff like that, you're going to end up floating your item anyway, okay? So this really doesn't necessarily have to fit in. You're going to be placing your item on there. However, though, it is kind of neat to kind of, in a way, put it inside the baby onesies just to make sure that you have it right in the middle. But there are a lot of tricks to do that, okay? So I know my sister, she has a YouTube channel, which is Gifts HQ, and she did a video on using the baby onesies, and I believe in her video she used the hoop size, which is a 4x4. This is the 4x4, 5x7. Okay, now this does not come with your machine. This what I did was I wanted to buy a repositional hoop, which is this one. This is a 5x12. Okay, and I wanted to use this with the Brother SC 1900. However, though, those of you guys that have been watching me for quite some time know that I am a stickler when it comes to spending my money. Okay, I always like to make sure I'm getting the best bang for my buck. When I did the research on how much it cost just for this hoop alone, I got a price, but then I saw that there was a pack of 4 hoops, which came with this one. It came with a 4x4. It came with another, a 5x7, which, yeah, I already had a 5x7, but, it doesn't hurt to have an extra, okay? And then it also came with the small one, which is the 2.5 oval hoop, okay? So what I did was, if I remember correctly, the price difference between the 4-pack and getting the 5x12 by itself really wasn't that big of a difference in the price, okay? If I remember correctly, it was about maybe like an extra $15, right? So I looked at it as I got a more bang for my buck if I went and I just bought the pack that had the four hoops all in one, okay? Then by just buying one hoop, and then later on, I got all my hoops all mixed up. Then just buying this, and then later on down the line, finding out that maybe I would want to have a 2.5, and then maybe I would want to have a 4x4. Buying them individually would have been more costly. So I thought it was just more cost effective if I just went ahead and I just bought the pack with the 4 hoops. And that's what I did, okay? Now, the whole reason why I wanted this 5x12 is because, it's a repositional hoop. And if I wanted to do an image that was bigger than a 5x7, I was able to do that using the software that I use called Embroidery. Now, what that does is it allows you to select a repositional hoop of this size. And then what it does is it takes your design and it breaks it down into 2 separate files. Those 2 separate files are really 2 5x7 files. And once you have this hoop, what you would do is you would embroider first the bottom half of your design, or whichever one you picked first. If you wanted to do the top, you could do the top and then do the bottom. But you would do one side at a time, and then you would just reposition it. Now, at the time when I was looking at the 5x12 hoop, it only came in this way, okay? I actually prefer, and I mean, don't get me wrong, you will be fine with these, that you would be fine with that. But one of the things that I discovered was a magnetic hoop. Now, there was a reason why I liked the magnetic hoop, okay? Let me take these out so you can just see. Okay, the magnetic hoop, as you can see, is very flat, okay? It's very, very flat, so it makes it very easy for you to slide in and out. And I noticed that when I was embroidering, a lot of the items that I was embroidering on my single needle machine, I floated almost everything. Very rarely did I actually hoop the actual material inside of the hoop along with the stabilizer. Usually what I did was I used either stick away stabilizer or I used my cutaway or tearaway. If I used cutaway or tearaway, what I did was I sprayed temporary adhesive on the stabilizer, and I would just hoop the stabilizer and then I would float the item on top of it. So that is usually like really, I mean, honestly, I think it's really 100% of the time that I hoop, that's the way I hoop whenever I'm doing anything on this machine. Okay. So what I liked about this is if you look at this side by side, and I've done a video on this, you can see that this is a lot thicker, okay, than this one. This one is very, very thin, so it makes it really easy for you to slide the item in and out in the machine foot, okay? So when you are, let me put you guys a little closer here so you guys can see. So whenever you're putting this in the machine, oh, I forgot to take, I got my sewing foot on there. I have forgot to take that out, but okay. Anyway, I didn't have time. Well, anyway, this slides in and out a lot easier, okay, and stuff than if you went and you had this. Now, the one that comes with the machine is fine. You can still slide it in or out. It's just that you have more room when you use this. So that is the only reason why I'm very, very attracted to this, is the ease of putting this in and out of the machine. Now, some people have stated that when they had purchased this, they had a hard time putting this on the machine itself right here on the hook. You do have to get used to it. You got to remember this is a third party product. This isn't really a product made by Brother, but it does fit. Okay, you just have to make sure that you purchase the correct one. Okay, so I think I got a little sidetracked because I was talking about the repositional hoop, but anyway, I wanted the repositional hoop. But at that time when I purchased this is the one that was available. They did not have this in the magnetic one, okay? Now, I know that a lot of people, when we were all messing around with these 5x12 hoops, there were a lot of comments that were going all over the internet saying, hey, we would really like to, wouldn't it be like awesome if we could get this in a magnetic hoop? Well, obviously the vendors out there must have been listening to all the chit chat that was going on regarding this repositional hoop, making it into a magnetic hoop. Okay. And then what ended up happening was they actually listened and they created one. Okay. Same thing, just as thin, and I love it also. I think this is pretty awesome, okay? Now, one of the things is I saw that there was a lady that she was looking at the magnetic hoops, and she was saying, hey, I bought the 5x12. Do you feel that if I have the 5x12, should I invest in both, okay? Now, if you are new, this is what I would do, okay? And you got to remember the 5x12 is the hoop where usually what you're doing is you're taking a design and it's being split in two, right? So it's like two 5x7s that are going into here. So it's like the top portion of this right here is a 5x7 and the bottom portion right here is a 5x7. And as you can see on the side of the hoop, you have the little hooks that are right here. You have two here and two here. If I had to do this all over again, I would just invest in this one. I would not go ahead and buy this one. Now, you got to remember, I bought this one at a time when they were not even making this, okay? But now that I have both and I look at it, one of the things that I tell myself is, you can get away with using this as a 5x7, okay? What you would do is you would just make sure that you positioned the machine. I would just use the two bottoms, okay? And I would put it in the machine. And whenever you have your design, I would do a trace just to make sure and double check that it would not hit any of these sizes, okay? And chances are it's not. I don't believe it will, okay? So, me personally, these things are pretty expensive. I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, this is about, I think it's $79. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I had purchased mine a while ago, so I don't know exactly how much it is today. Okay, because prices has gone up for almost everything, right? So that's what I would do, if I was doing this all over again. Okay, but like I said, when I first got into this, I had to just I purchased this because this was the only thing that was available in the market. And then I think what happened was the manufacturers probably came out and said, hey, the community out there is really looking to see if they can get the same product in a repositional hoop. So these are really, really worth investing in. So if I had to do it all over again, I would get this one. Okay. This one is good too. Okay. Now, the only thing that I think about is the price. Okay. Now, when you buy this one, the magnetic hoop, you only get the magnetic hoop. This does not come in a pack of 4 or anything like that. I've looked all over the place. It doesn't. You're only going to get one. Okay. So if cash is an issue or whatever, then don't do the magnetic hoop. This works just as great, but the only thing that I tell you is that when you are purchasing this, get the best bang for your buck and get the one that comes with the 4 in one box, okay, which comes with the the round one, okay, the 4x4 and the extra 5x7. Okay. Now, do you think that you're going to use these other hoops? I'm going to tell you right now, yes, you will. You will use them. Okay. Because this is the thing also. Sometimes people think, oh, if I have one big hoop, I should be able to embroider anything. I say yes, and I also say no. You got to remember there is a reason for the different sizes. And I say that the reason is for 2 things that you have to think about: the size of your design, the size of your product. Okay. Now, I want you to also think about this as well. Let's say that I have a shirt. Okay. And I have a shirt and I want to embroider a little star. Let's say it's just a very little star, 1 inch, nothing fancy and stuff like that. And I want to embroider it on a shirt. Okay. I don't, I say, well, you know what? I'm going to use my 5x7 hoop and I'm going to float my shirt and I'm going to put it on here and I'm going to do the star. Now, will it work? Yes. But this is the thing that I want you guys to think about when you are selecting your sizes, okay? When you are embroidering clothes, especially stretchy fabric, okay, there is something that you can get called puckering. Now, puckering is when the design of the embroidery is pretty dense. And when I mean dense, I'm talking about the amount of stitches. Sometimes you can have a lot of stitches in a design. And what it can do is it can be kind of rough on the fabric. And when you have fabric that is very thin or stretchy, then what can happen is the fabric can shift. All right. So sometimes you have to think about that. You want to prevent that because when you're done embroidering, you want an embroidery to be on the shirt nice and flat and even, no puckering or anything like that, which is why sometimes you have to think about your stabilizer and all that kind of stuff. So when it comes to very small designs, no matter how big the product is and stuff like that, I will use something like this, or I will even go with a 4x4 on the single needle machine, because what it is I want to make sure that the fabric has the support that it needs in order for it to embroider nicely. Okay. And you also have to remember, as well, something to think about as well. There's going to be certain times when the best solution would be to float your fabric. And then there's going to be other times that maybe floating isn't really the best thing to do because it could shift a lot. If the fabric could shift a lot, then you would want to probably hoop the fabric along with your stabilizer and not float. Okay. So it's just some, I know that probably right now I'm probably talking and a lot of you guys are probably going like, oh God, this all this information, all these decisions. But I just want you to understand that a lot of times people really don't understand that there is a lot of planning that goes into embroidery. Um, I have said it in the past, a lot of people have this perception that the machine does all the work, that you just go ahead and you put the fabric in the machine and you press the button and it just goes, rocks on, and then you just take it out of the machine and everything is perfect. That is really not true. A lot of the things that has to happen for embroidery to really come out nice happens before you hit that start button. Okay, you have to look at your design. You have to look at how many stitches. You have to know whether the design is very dense or not. You also have to look at the product that you're going to be embroidering on. Okay, is the fabric going to be able to handle that type of design? If not, what type of stabilizer can you use so that way the design can be well supported, so that when you are embroidering, you're not going to get puckering or anything like that. Okay, you also have to, when you look at the design, you have to think about the thread. Okay, a lot of times you use 40 weight thread when you do designs. However, if you are doing like a logo on the chest of a shirt, or you are using small fonts, then you're going to have to rethink about the weight of the thread that you are using. And you're also going to have to rethink about the type of needles that you're using on that machine. Okay, not all threads are the same, and not all needles are the same. And depending on what you use to do what is going to determine how nice your outcome is going to be. All right. And it's also going to be the type of hoop that you select to actually create that product. So a lot of times people really have that misunderstanding, and they don't really get that there is a big part of the planning process in embroidery when you are starting. So in this, in this Friday, I just literally touched on a whole bunch of other things that you have to consider. But what I am trying to do this Friday is trying to give you an idea about how many hoops are out there, the different types of sizes and stuff like that. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. The only one that I find out of all these hoops that I just showed you right now that I use the less of is really this one, the small one. Okay, because a lot of times I don't do very, very small embroidery designs. A lot of times the embroidery designs that I do, the smallest would be usually a 4x4 design. And that's where this one comes handy. I use this one a lot for baby onesies. I think this is like really great. So if you're doing baby clothes, like baby shirts, especially the onesies, this is the one that you're going to be using as your go-to. Now, do they have a 4x4 in a magnetic hoop style? No, they do not. I have not been able to find it. The only magnetic hoop that I was able to find was the 5x7, and then later on they came out with the 5x12 repositional hoop. This one, you're going to be using it as is. I use this to float. I float my baby onesies. That's really the only way you can do them, for the simple fact that if you just put this in here and you go to put it in the machine, you're going to be sewing the back to the front. Okay, so you have to take the back out and then just float the item in here, and then do the embroidery and stuff like that. But I do use all of them. The one that I really don't use that much is this one. And I think I've only used it like once since I've owned it. Okay, so just wanted to let you know this is how it rocks over here for the SC1900. So these are all the hoops. I have used all of them. I have lots of the 5x7 hoops, this type. Okay. The magnetic hoop, I only have one of. And what do I use the magnetic hoops for? A lot? Towels, those are the ones that I like to use it. And the reason why is because towels are very, very thick in material, okay? And because they're very, very thick in material, if I was to use something like this, which is already thick, and it could, get in here, if I am floating, okay, and I decide to put my towel on that, I'm really going to be lifting the foot up, and then I'm really going to have to like kind of not force it, but it's going to be a little more difficult to get a thick towel using this type of hoop, floating it to go underneath. Okay, so the magnetic hoops are usually my go-to when I'm doing bath towels. Yeah, mostly bath towels or robes, bath robes. Sometimes you get those terry cloth robes. They're very, very thick. So I like to use the magnetic hoops for those. Okay. All the other types of materials, like when I do my dinner napkins and stuff like that, and I need this baby to jump in and help with the load, I use the 5x7. And usually what I'll do is I will float it. I float my dinner napkins, but you got to remember the dinner napkins that I use are not a stretchy fabric. Okay. They're not. So usually I'll just float it. I'll put either a sticky stabilizer. With this, I'll use sticky stabilizer because I don't want the fabric to shift at all. Okay. While it is embroidering. And I will float it on here. And because usually with dinner napkins, I'm making about 12, 12, 6. I do them in sets, okay? So I like to pre-hoop a lot of my items, so that way when this finished, I just take the hoop out, take the other one that's already hooped in with the new napkin, and then I just slide it right in here, and then I press the button, keep it going, okay? So it kind of helps me with an assembly line, all right? So what I'll usually do is I'll have 4 dinner napkins, because I have 4 of these. I'll have 4 dinner napkins all hooped at the same time, and I'll just like in and out, in and out. And as it finishes that one, I take it out. I just put the other hoop in, start it, and then while that's working, then I will disassemble the one that finished, and then I'll just put another sticky stabilizer in, and then I'll just put the napkin in there, and then I just put it right back in the what you call that, the line, the assembly line goes right back behind the assembly line so that it could keep embroidering, so I can do all 12 at the same time. So, well, not at the same time, but one at a time, but I have them all hooped. Okay. So, I have because I do dinner napkins, and because I like to do the kitchen towels and stuff like that, it's more beneficial for me to have more than one 5x7. So remember, like I said in the beginning, I'm going to show you what I have, why I use it, and how I use it. But when you are looking at what you do for embroidery and stuff like that, you need to think about what is it that you embroider a lot of, and that will help you to determine what's going to be the best size hoops for you, and also how many of these hoops do you need. Okay, because not everybody is going to be like me, where, oh, let me get 4 of these. Okay, if you're only doing baby onesies, right? Or you're only doing baby quilts, right? Let's say you want to do baby quilts and stuff like that. You're not going to need a whole bunch of you know of you know what is this, 4x4, and you're not going to need a whole bunch of the 5x12s. Okay, one should be sufficient. And the reason why I say that is because when you are doing baby onesies, okay, those are types of projects that when you are doing on a single needle machine, you're going to be babysitting it a lot. It's not one of those things that you can just stick in the machine and just walk away. That's not going to work. Okay, lots of things can go wrong. All right, because you have to float the item, and at the same time you have to make sure that none of the side materials get caught up in the actual embroidery, because your embroidery machine is moving around a lot. So you're going to want to sit there and watch it and make sure that nothing happens. Okay, because the last thing you want to do is walk away from the machine and then an hour later or a half hour later you come back and you have a mess. Okay, so because you're going to be doing it one at a time, and because you're going to have to babysit it and stuff, you can get two if you want to, but the way I see it is you're really not going to it's not like you're going to have a onesie hooped in an assembly line, because you're actually you got to sit there with that one onesie from start to finish. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So, would it be cost effective for you to go ahead and buy another one? I would say if you want to have a backup in case one of your hoops break, because that's another thing too. These things do break, okay? There was a situation where when I first started and I had my it comes with one 5x7 hoop. Okay, I was using it and using it, and this knob right here, that's part of your hoop, for some reason it got stripped. Okay, now strip means that when you turn it, it no longer tightens because the screw kind of lost its grip. Okay, so I was kind of like, oh man, that sucks, right? So I was like, well, no big deal. Let me go to Lowe's or Home Depot. I'll just go there with my hoop and I'll show them the screw that I need, and they'll hook me up, right? Well, yes and no. I was able to find a hoop that would fit this, but it wasn't exactly the same one. Okay, so just know that these things sometimes do go bad. You can get replacements for these. Okay, you can. You don't have to buy a whole brand new hoop. You just have to buy this one piece right here. So I'm sure that if you Google and stuff like that, you'll be able to find replacements of these screws. So just be aware of that. I mean, they don't go bad right away, but I will tell you, I was using it a lot. Okay, and I was tightening it up. I think maybe I was doing it a little too hard. So just know that these in time will wear out and you may have to replace them. Okay, but you don't throw away the whole hoop. You can just buy this. Okay, so just something that I wanted to share with you guys about this. All right, so before I move to my other hoops that are mostly for the multi-needle machine, I just want to make sure that I really can answer any questions you guys have on the SC1900 and the hoops and stuff, because I know that in our Facebook group there was a lot of questions that people had regarding the magnetic hoop. And and also, as a matter of fact, I just remember there was another question that was out there too. In one of my videos, I did a baseball hat. And you know what? Talking about the baseball hat, I totally forgot about the famous hat hoop that I use. Okay. They are a lot of other versions out there of a hat hoop. When I searched Amazon for a hat hoop, I found that some of the versions were pretty pricey. I mean, some, I don't know if they worked or not, because I didn't buy any of them, so I can't really say yes or nay. But I know the prices were up there. Okay, it was pretty high. It was almost like buying the repositional hoop, the magnetic. It was like in the 80s, something like that. I found this from a shop on Etsy, and the shop's called Hat Hoop. Okay, they do have a listing for these that fit into the SC1900. The way that this works, okay, is you have your 5x7. Just take the top off, okay, because the 5x7 comes with two pieces, right? Take this. You don't need the top. You just need the bottom. You take this and you just pop it in. Hold on. Let me show you. Oh, I got to open it. I had it closed. Okay, so I'm going to open this, okay? Let me so you guys can see kind of like how I'm doing it. It's kind of hard because I'm not on a table, but believe me, it's a lot easier. All right, so hold on. Let me get it in here. Oh, I got it in wrong. That was okay. I had it upside down. All right, hold on. Give me a minute. And I promise you won't have this type of problems when you get it, because it's just that I'm not on a table. Okay, so. And this is how it fits, and then you would just tighten it up here. We'll see. I'm not on a table, so This fits in here. Hold on. Give me a minute. Let me move this over. All right. Hold on. And I will show you guys, okay? It's easier to do this on a table. Okay, see how easy? I just popped it in. And now I closed it. And voila, there you go. Okay, it's just, I was trying to do it in the air, but it does work, okay? Now, once you have this in the hoop, what happens is these two, you turn them, okay? And you open this up. And let me grab a baseball. All right, I got baseballs right here. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me grab a baseball so you guys can see exactly how this works. Got one right here. This, my cousin Betty left this here for me to embroider. I haven't done it. I got to do it for her. All right, she's probably going to look at this video and go, that's where my hat went. I'll be like, okay, I got to do it for you. All right. And so, and if my sister's watching, she's probably laughing, going, oh man, Betty's going to kill her. And stuff. Okay, hold on. I am unscrewing this. Okay, and when you unscrew this, this opens up this little lip. Okay, now this little lip, hopefully you guys can see. Can you see? All right, there you go. The little lip opens. See, it opens. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I put it in here. Okay, and then you tighten this. Okay, see how I'm tightening it? And then what you would do is you would flatten this. Now, of course, before you put this on here, you're going to put stabilizer. Use sticky stabilizer, okay? So I'm not putting the stabilizer, but you would use the stabilizer and you would pop this in, okay? I hope I didn't confuse anybody because I forgot to mention the stabilizer. Open this. See how it falls? And then you just flatten it out. You just flatten it out and you would embroider, okay? Now, someone asked me, because in one of the videos, not only did I embroider like a golf man in the front, but in the back, what I did was I embroidered my friend's name on it, okay? I did her name in the back. And she was like, how the heck did you do that? All right, so the way that I did that was, I know this has the tags on it and stuff like that. And it wasn't like this. This is one of those ponytail hats. Let me get another hat. Hold on. All right, so here we go. All right, this is one of my work hats. Okay. Well, this has a ponytail thing too. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so I used a 4x4 hoop. And what I did was I put sticky stabilizer on here, okay? And when I put this on the sticky stabilizer, all right, let me just move and let me just show you guys. I hope you guys can see. Okay, let's make believe I hoop okay, I put the sticky stabilizer inside this hoop. Now I'm putting it on the table, right? And then this is the sticky stabilizer. I'm going to open my hat up, okay? And then what I do is I just place this on the sticky stabilizer, and then I just flatten this out like this, okay? Once I have it in there, then what I'll do is I'll take this and I put it inside the embroidery machine, and see how this is flattened now, okay? So this is where I would do the person's name. That's how I did that, okay? Because I know someone was asking about that. So they were like, how did you do that? And I'm like, that's how you would do it, okay? And stuff. Because you don't have to use the hat hoop for that. Now, another thing too that I want to mention is the hat hoop on the Etsy shop was not that expensive. I mean, to me, it was very reasonably priced, okay, compared to those other hat hoops that I saw that were on Amazon. I thought those were kind of like, wow. I mean, I'm like, that was a lot of money. Okay. So anyway, if you don't want to use that, okay, what you can do is you can use the 5x7 hoop and then put sticky stabilizer on it. And then what you would do is you could just, let me take that out so that you can see. You know, because I want to cover everybody, because, you know, the thing is, like, you know, Eve from the Baby Booty, I love watching her channel. She said it best once. You know, that's one of the myths that a lot of people have, is that they think that embroidery is cheap. It is not cheap, okay? It is not cheap. It is very, very expensive, because there is a lot of equipment. There is a lot of things that have to be bought. And, you know, it really, truly is a skill. So, you know, anyway, okay, so let's make believe I took sticky stabilizer and I hooped the sticky stabilizer in here, okay? One of the things that you can do is you can take the hat and you can just place it on the sticky stabilizer and then just flatten it out like this yourself. Now, can you do that? And then you can start embroidering. This is, you can do it. You can do it. But this is the issue that I have if you do that and you're not using a hat hoop. The chances of the hat shifting on you is there, okay? As for if you have that hat hoop with the lip on it. If you have the hat hoop with the lip on it, it kind of helps to stabilize that hat inside the hoop while you're embroidering. Now, if you just do it this way, sticky stabilizer is okay, but it's only strong to a certain point. And when you are embroidering, what can happen is your hat can shift. And if the hat shifts, then there it goes. You're like done for. The hat, that, you know, is your design is going to get messed up because it moved on you, okay? So it's just something that, you know, you just have to, you got to be really, really careful. You got to make sure that when you use a sticky stabilizer and you fold this hat down, that you really, you know, I would probably try to pin it on the stabilizer to prevent any type of movement of that hat during the embroidery process. You know, and the thing is also is depending on the hat that you are embroidering, okay? This is a structured hat. Okay, structured hats are a little tougher because this is hard. Okay, this is very, very hard material. Now, some people they steam it, they iron it, try to soften it up and everything. I never did that. I just, you know, because to me, I don't want to mess up the structure of the hat too much. I will just fold it down, embroider it, and then, you know, fix it afterwards. But I never mess with the steam or anything on the hat. Okay. Now, when it comes to the sticky stabilizer, using that alone, if you are embroidering a hat that's very similar to this, like the one my cousin got, this is not a structured hat at all. As you can see, it's very, very flimsy and stuff. This is probably easier to work with, okay? Because you don't have anything really popping out. All you have to do is really just take this, smooth it down, and then once you put this on the stabilizer, you should kind of be okay. It's not going to be that difficult. You could pin it if you want. I probably wouldn't, because I don't think it would be necessary, because these are a little softer, so they are much easier to work with. The only thing you would have to be really concerned about, which is not just in the in this hat, but in the structure as well, is the sweatband that is inside the hat. Okay, I had made a couple of mistakes where when I was placing my hat on the stabilizer, I did not pay attention to the sweatband. And when I did my embroidery, and the embroidery went too low on the hat, it sometimes embroidered on the sweatband as well. You want to try to prevent that, okay? So you always want to try to move your sweatband away from the back, and then when you flatten it out, you want to make sure that you have it this way, okay? So it's just something, you know, to think about. So, you know, softer hats are really much easier to work with when it comes to embroidering on a single needle machine. The softer hats to me are harder to embroider on a multi-needle machine, because the structure is not there. Structured hats to me is easier to do on a multi-needle machine. So when it comes to these hats, I use this machine, and when it comes to my structured hats, I like to use my multi-needle machine, because I like to use my hat driver and my and the hat hoop, and I just feel that it comes out a lot better. Okay, and stuff. So I'm gonna go down because I want to make sure before I head over to the other stuff, that I you guys have questions and stuff like that. So let me see. Let me go. Where's my mouse? I think I'm holding my mouse the wrong way, and I sure was. Okay, I'm gonna go up. So guys, this is for you. If you guys have questions, ask away, and I will try to answer them the best I can. And share your opinions also, especially those that are out there that are pretty experienced as me on the SC1900 or a single needle machine. It doesn't have to be this machine, okay? Any other type of embroidery machine. What has been your experience on the type of hoops? What is your favorite hoop? Your favorite hoop size? Is there a hoop? Oh, Melo's asleep in there. I got to make sure I don't hit him in the head. Is there any particular hoops out there too that you don't use that often? Because like I shared with you guys, this is not it's not that it's not my favorite. It's just that I really I've only used it once. That's all I did. I just used it once, and it was to do an initial on a shirt, on a sleeve. So it wasn't that big of a thing, and the other hoops I have used quite often. So it's just something that I just wanted to share on this. So I'm gonna go down. Oh, hey Miriam, thank you. Yes, my birthday is tomorrow. 54. I made it to 54. Hey Classy and Caffeinated, how you doing? Hey Norma. Hey Robin. Hey Iris. I see Sassy. Hey Karen, Ali, Yvette. Hey Kathy, how you doing? Hey Tammy, how are you? Thank you so much. Hey Trisha. I see Sheila, Eartha. Hey Fabulous 32, how you doing? Hey Amy, Tracy, I see Kathy, Deborah. Hey Crafty Puerto Rican, congratulations on, those of you that don't know, Crafty Puerto Rican hit 1,000 subscribers. Very proud of you, girl. Keep it going, and please feel free to post your videos on our Facebook group. I'm fine with it. Just post away. Keep it going. I love your videos. I think you're doing awesome and stuff. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Angela. How you doing? Thank you for spending the time with us on a special day. It's actually tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to be cleaning Carlito's apartment. He's turning 22. Clean to them is different than to us, So I got to make sure that, the apartment is ready for turnover and stuff, because he's going to another apartment and stuff. So yeah, he's moving. He's in the moving phase right now. Let's see. Hey, Crafty Creations, how are you doing? I love when you say stuff like that. Yeah, it's what is it? Just Judy says, stop it with the fillers. So like I love watching Just Judy, and when people say she goes, that's filler word, stop it. So yeah, I'm trying to conscientiously stop the and all that kind of stuff and everything. I actually rewatch my videos, and I do count my and I look to see how many filler words I use and stuff like that. So yeah, and I said stuff like that again, Hey Cheryl, how you doing? Hey Annalicia, how you doing? I think I said your name right. I'm sorry if I messed it up. Hey Ruth. See, I'm still trying to find a magnetic hoop for my machine. What I would do, Iris, with the magnetic hoop, the one that I have, this one actually works. Now, I am gonna tell you some people say that they're having issues sometimes with how to put it. Now, let me show you, and I think I could slide it in. This, sometimes, it doesn't go in as smooth as the brother. Sometimes you just got to play with it. You know, what I do, okay, is I take it, okay, I line it up, I push it in with my hands. You squeeze it in, and then you push it down. That's how you do it, okay? So let me make you guys a little closer so you guys can see, and I'm going to take it out. Okay, because you got to remember, this isn't like a brother thing, right? So, all right, you're going to take this, okay? You're going to line it up with the little pegs that are here, okay? I line it up with the pegs. I wish it was closer. Let me see. I think that's a little better. Okay. You got your little pegs right here. These have the little hooks, right? Line it up. Okay. Put your hand here. Take that. Push it back. And then push it down. But you got to be standing. I only do it standing and then push it down. And then, see, it'll snap. And then you're good. That's how I do it, okay? So, Iris, if you, was it Iris that was saying that? Let me see. Oh, boy. Let me see. I think it was Iris. Let's see. I think it was where you were saying, yeah, Iris. You know, if try that, because I think that's what it is. A lot of people have issues because you got to remember it's not as smooth as these, the one that came with the machine, okay? But that's how to do it, okay? And so I hope that helps and stuff. Hey Marina, how you doing? Oh, you have a single. Oh, Iris, you have a singer Flatura. Yeah, I don't know if they have one for that machine. Shoot. Let me see. I would try maybe Singer Machine Plus, Amazon, and I'm sure you have. I'm sure you probably tried all those places and you probably can't find it. And maybe they don't have one for your machine yet and stuff. I'll keep an eye out though, Iris, and if I see one, I'll let you guys know. Talk to Mighty Hoops, and they can tell you what hoops will work with your particular machine. Angela, I think the Mighty Hoops. Well, you know what? You never know. You never know. They might, but I believe the Mighty Hoops, because the Mighty Hoops that I have is for multi-needle machines, and I think the one that Iris has is probably a single needle. I'm not sure. I think it is, and stuff. Hey Nancy, how you doing? See, my sister's on there. Hey Judy, how you doing? Hey Deborah. See, I don't believe Mighty Hoops can be used on a single needle. Yeah, it can't. No, I don't think it can, Angel. But you know what? They should really start thinking about maybe doing a mighty, some Mighty Hoops for single needles if they can. I don't know, because Mighty Hoops are the magnetic things, and they may not because they have some, but probably considering doing them for other machines, especially for those that aren't out there. So I don't know. Yeah. Favorite is the Mighty Hoop. Yep, that is one of the ones that I use a lot, Angela. I use that size too, and I will be getting to those because after I make sure that I don't miss anyone regarding single needle, the next discussion is we're going to be walking over to my big machines, and we're going to talk about all the hoops that I have on the big machines and which ones I use and which ones I don't. Okay. Hey Ruth. I know we're all here because we love the content, so don't forget to reward Jeanette with that like button. Oh, thank you, Ruth. Appreciate it. Let me see. Hey Miss Banks, how are you? Let me see. Yep, it's still $79. Yeah, it's very, very expensive. The magnetic hoops, they really are. And that's the only thing, if you're going to do a lot of bath towels, because bath towels are very thick, or you're going to do a lot of bathrobes that are very thick, whatever it is, that if the material is thick, okay, then I would say yes. I would invest in a magnetic 5x12 hoop. However, if you are not going to be doing that and you want a 5x12 hoop, okay, I would just do the four hoops in a box, because I really feel that you get more bang for your buck that way. I mean, you don't need to have the magnetic 5x12 to do a bath towel. It just makes it a little easier. So you just got to take your time putting the hoop in the machine with the towel, just because of the pressure foot. So take your time. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to use it that much, don't spend the money. Okay. You got a lot of other stuff that you're going to need to invest in, like needles and threads and stabilizers and stuff like that. So, just something to think about. You're also using unnecessary stabilizer. It's a waste. Yes, true. You're doing great. We need to know all of this. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Appreciate it. Yes, there is. Thank you, Brooklyn, for mentioning that. Yes, there is. Okay. For 4x4, I don't have one, but they do have the magnetic hoop for 4x4. Now, I don't know the price of it, but they do have it. Okay. So if you guys are, want a 4x4 magnetic hoop, they have those as well. Thank you, Brooklyn, for mentioning that. I totally forgot about that. That is absolutely right, because I've seen them. I have seen them. Hey, Newland, how you doing? Okay, tomorrow's my sister's birthday. Send her happy. Nancy's funny. That's my sister. Okay. Hey, Tyler, how are you? Hey, Charlie girl. Okay, when you embroider the handkerchief, when you embroider with a 65-9 needle and a 60 width, what is the size of the bobbin thread? I do not change the size of my bobbin thread. I usually use the 60 weight bobbin thread. Let me double check for you though. Hold on, because I want to make sure I'm telling you right. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I use on the multi-needle machine, I use these, okay? And these are the magnetic core, okay? And the one that I use is the 12434, and it does not, it just tells me it's 135 yards per bobbin, but it doesn't tell me the actual weight of the bobbin. However, when I am embroidering on my single needle machine, I am using a 90 weight. This is the one that I use. I like to use pre-winded bobbins. They already come pre-winded like this. I like it for the simple fact that, as you can see, look how much bobbin is in there. It's really nicely tightly winded, and it just, to me, it saves, these last a long time, and it saves me the energy of having to create them myself. So these are the ones that I use. I have a box in white, and I have a box in black. So so those are the ones that I have. What the magnetic core weight of those bobbins are, I don't know. I maybe if Miss Banks knows, I don't know. I know she uses the same ones. So I really don't know the weight on that. Okay, what are the washing instructions when items that are embroidered? Norma, I do not pre-wash any of the items that I embroider. And the reason why I don't like to pre-wash them is because I believe that if after you wash them, you can't really sell them as new. A lot of times when I sell my kitchen towels, they're really decorative towels. They're not really for people to actually like use or whatever. But I really don't give them washing instructions. That nobody's ever asked me for it, and I've never had any issues with it. So you can put washing instructions on it. I think some of the washing instructions is to I think maybe wash warm, and I wouldn't put it in the dryer, because if you put it in the dryer, it kind of like crumps up. I mean, it's not that it ruins it. You're just gonna have to iron it out, okay, and stuff. Because I do that even when I embroider like my shirts. Like when I put this in the dryer and it comes out, the logo is really like crushed. So I have to take an iron and kind of like flatten it out, so that way, my logo comes out nice and flat again. Okay. If not, it would be kind of like crunched up and stuff. Um, let me see. So, but embroidering the handkerchief, I use, depending on the design, sometimes I'll use a 65.9, sometimes I'll just use a 75.11. Okay. I mostly use the 65.9 needles for logos when I'm doing the chest of a polo shirt or something like that. Or if I have very small fonts that are less than half an inch, then I will use the 65.9 needle, and I will also use the weight of a 60. Okay. Um, hey Holland, how you doing? Hey Rhonda, how you doing? Hey lady, 19440. Love learning from you. Oh, awesome. Hey Harmony, how you doing? Okay, Amazon has replaced. I just ordered some from my hoops. Oh, great, Arthur. Earth, thanks for mentioning that. Yes, so you can also get these replacement screws on Amazon as well. Okay. But I did go to Home Depot, but it's like it just wasn't attractive. It was a screw that worked, but it wasn't like the same. And sometimes you want your stuff to look nice. So it just did. I have 3 5x7 magnetic hoops, 2 off-brand, and 1 sticky hoop, also the 5x12. However, I always do my towels on the 5x7 hoops and have them pre-hooped. Oh, okay. So you don't float them and stuff. I mean, you can do it either way. Now, the only reason why sometimes I don't float certain things when it comes to these hoops is because of hoop burn. Okay. Towels don't get hoop burn, but sometimes if you have a shirt kind of like this, like black and stuff like that, and then you put it in the actual hoop, and then when you go to remove it, you could end up getting like a mark. Okay, you could end up getting some kind of mark and stuff like that. So and there's also some tricks also that people have used to stop things from shifting in their hoops. Let me see if I have some. There was one person once I watched a video, and they used I think it was like sports band-aid or something like that, and they put it on the outside of the top. They put right here, they just wrapped it around with some sports band-aid thing, and it was so that it could have like a grip on the fabric, so that way when you hoop the fabric wouldn't shift that much, and it kind of like helped to prevent the puckering and all that kind of stuff. So that some people have a lot of little neat tricks on how they hoop their items, not just floating them. Some people use little tape, like I just mentioned, and sometimes also people use pins. Sometimes people will have something on here when they're floating, and they'll use little pins just to make sure that everything just stays in place. So there's a lot of neat little tricks that people do all the time. I have a dime hoop clip. It attaches to the sticky hoop, and I also have a hoop guard for the 1Ds, and you pull it over the hoop guard. Marla, I wonder if what you are talking about is, I have bought something a while ago. Oh, I don't know where it is now. Okay. That goes to show how much I used it. Oh, okay. All right. This was something that I purchased a while ago, and it's for baby onesies. Okay. It kind of works very similar to the hat hoop, where it goes on the 5x7. Pop it out, and you kind of put the baby onesies in, and what it does is it kind of holds the baby onesie, so that way you don't have to always hold the sides of the baby onesie so that it doesn't get in the way of getting embroidered. It was okay, and don't get me wrong, this is a neat little product. However, though, it just, I was always confused on how to use it. Okay. It just confused the crap out of me. So I bought it, I used it like once or twice, and it's been in my drawer ever since. So I don't know if this is what you're referring to. But it just, to me, this was I don't know. I guess if you use it all the time, you'll know exactly how to use it and stuff like that, and it'll probably work. But for me, I don't do a lot of baby onesies. I just do like one here or there. And I have, I can just stick it in the big machine, or I can just, I don't mind sitting there and babysitting it and stuff like that. So this, to me, for me, it was not a good buy. So, but it was something that I had to try. So, let's see. I've got my 3. So I'll have to watch later. Have a good night. Okay, bye, Nana. I have one of those hat hoops. Let's see. I have no grandkids yet. I'm just waiting. Cardi don't even got a girlfriend. But he's got to finish school and he's got to get a job. So it's like, okay. I've been missing in action. Oh, I missed the thing. I need somebody to think. See, somebody said they were missing in action. Oh my goodness. I missed okay. Let's see. I just want to make sure, because I don't want to miss anybody having questions and stuff like that, let's see. I've been missing in action for a while. Hey, Debbie, how you doing? Refresher tonight. Oh, I'm glad you can make it. You just go over and beyond teaching. You're supposed to. Hey, Miriam. Yeah, because I want people to learn. I want, it can be very frustrating when sometimes you're watching a video and, oh my God, it's been an hour too. And I want to get to the multi-nails and shit. And you watch a video and then they go so fast and it's like you just didn't learn crap, and then you just get frustrated. So I kind of try to avoid it because I don't want people to like feel that way and stuff like that. Let me see. You were playing to new baby. Okay. Any pointers for hooping lightweight green fabric? Okay. Debbie, when it comes to light fabric, what you really want to do is you want to make sure that you are using the right amount of stabilizer. Okay. You got to look at the design that you have because you want to prevent puckering. And I have to tell you, I don't like embroidering on light fabric because of the puckering. Sometimes what happens is people want these designs that are very, very, very dense, and they think that it's going to look perfect on very light fabric like silk and stuff like that. I hate doing those things. Very, very hard to embroider on. When it comes to light fabric, honestly, I would not float it. I would actually hoop it into the hoop, for the simple reason that because it's so light, you don't want it to shift. And I would double up on my stabilizer. I remember I saw a video, and I think it was the embroidery nurse, and she was doing a shirt, and the shirt was very, very thin, and it kept getting puckering, and it got to the point where I think she was using like 3 sheets of cutaway stabilizer just to get it looking good. So my recommendation on that is, if you can get samples of that fabric before embroidering on the actual product, try hooping it, making sure that you have the right amount of stabilizer and stuff like that, and test out that design before doing it on your product, because you don't want to mess up your shirt or whatever it is that you're doing. Okay. You don't want to do that, especially if you are using something from a customer, because if it's yours, you're kind of like, it looks funky, but all right, I'll wear it or whatever, right? But if it's for another person, you don't want to do that. You don't want to like create something and then it looks kind of tacky. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see. Okay. So, I found that steaming the hat helps a little, but not a big difference when steaming. Yeah, some people steam it, some people don't, and stuff like that. So, guys, I am going to, all right, I'm going to keep going, all right, because I want to hit the multi-needle machines because there are lots of hoops over there. Okay, so we are done with single needle. I'm moving you guys around. We're going, and I got to watch Mello because he's on the floor. Okay, so we're at the big machine right now. I have an item that's in here right now, so I'm not going to be taking stuff in and out of this machine because I don't want to mess that up because that's a customer order, and I just stopped it because I didn't want the noise. I didn't want to compete this with what I got going on. All right, but let me show you the hoops now, okay? So when you buy your multi-needle machine, and I'm right here behind the machine. I'm just going to bring a little bit of these out so that you can see. All right. When I got my multi-needle machine, Mel's looking at me like, what is she doing? All right. You get these hoops. These are the hoops that come with the machine. These are the same version of what you get when you have your single needle machine, your 5x7 and stuff like that. You get them in all the sizes, okay? You get them from the very small one. You get it to a 4x4. You get a 5x7, all the different sizes, all the way to the biggest hoop that machine will take. Now, I don't use any of these hoops that came with the machine, all right? I do know that people do use them, okay? They do use them. Me personally, I don't. They're collecting dust. I'm not going to get rid of them because you never know, okay? Something might happen and I might need to use it. But just know up front, these are the ones that you get. They work exactly like the hoops that come with your single needle machine. They have the little screw for you to take off. You unscrew it, the top pops up, pops out, okay? The only thing is the brackets are on the top, okay? And then you just slide it in your machine, pop it in, and then you're good, okay? You would be doing the same thing. You could just hoop your stabilizer if you want. You could probably float an item, but a lot of times people actually hoop the items on here with the stabilizer and put it on. I don't like these for the simple fact of the hoop burn. Hoop burn is when you are embroidering your when you hoop your fabric along with your stabilizer inside the hoop. Sometimes it's done so tight, and when you take it out, your fabric will have some kind of marking on it. I don't like that at all. So these came with them. I have two sets. I got one set that came with each machine. So, but they're just there. Okay. Now, let me show you what I use all the time. All right. And these are very, everybody knows these. These are the mighty hoops. Okay. Now, oh, I got thread all over the place. Okay. These mighty hoops are awesome. Okay. Now I am going to tell you one thing. You have to be careful because when these snap together, they snap together pretty tight. And I'll tell you what, if your fingers get stuck between these two, it hurts. It really hurts. Okay. It's not a little pinch. Believe me, you're going to feel it. Okay. Let me see how I can do this. All right. Let's see if I have, okay, hold on. I'm going to try to place you where I can show you how these things snap together. safely, because I like my hand. I don't want to mess myself up while trying to show you guys how to do this here. All right, I'll just put you guys here and see. Okay, there you go. All right. So this is the bottom of the hoop, okay? And you put it on. It may be a little loud. See? See how quick? All right. So I'm telling you, and these are really, really rough. They're hard to get out, okay? Usually you put your stabilizer on here or your item, or you put it in your shirt or whatever, and then you just go, and it just snaps in place. These things, I'm going to tell you something. These things are awesome. Expensive as heck. Each one costs about, it depends on the size that you want, okay? But the average price per these hoops run about, like, you're probably looking at $150 a pop, okay? The smaller ones are a little cheaper, but they're still in the $100 range. I think they're about like 120, 135, something like that, okay? I have one of the big ones for each machine, okay? These are the small ones. Oh, man. And they get stuck on the side of the machine, too, because the magnet. Okay, hold on. Because this got stuck. I got to pull it out. There you go. Oh, man. Okay. All right, I'll have Fred do that one. Okay, I'll let my husband take that one out. All right, so these are the small ones. These are the ones that I use for logos whenever I'm doing shirts, polo shirts, and all that kind of stuff. This is, what size is this? I think this is a 5x5. Love these. I got several of these, okay? Because these are really good for, like, when I am a big order. Somebody says, hey, I need 20 shirts or whatever. Usually what I'll do is I use my hooping station, and I'll just hoop all of my shirts and have them all ready. And then I just pop them in and out of the machine as they create them. Same thing. If you have a pacemaker also, you're not going to be able to use these because, they have a warning sign about the pacemakers. These are really, 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 they're strong. Okay. I mean, these are like mega strong. I don't want to hit my thing. So anyway. Ooh. Okay. Well, anyway, I don't want to like mess up. All right. I'll just leave it alone because I will say I'm a chicken when it comes to some of these. So I'm very, very careful. I always use my hooping station whenever I am snapping these things together. I did have my finger caught in one of these, and I am going to tell you, it was not a pleasant experience. I was like, wow. I was like, ooh, I thought I lost a finger. Oh, no, Mel, go away. I don't want you to get hurt. Okay. When you store these, also make sure that the writing is facing each other. Okay. These last forever almost. Okay. Now you can, like, I do see that sometimes they sell replacement parts for the bottom part of the magnet. So I'm like wondering, do they run out in time? I don't know. I've had these for quite some time now and they have not run out yet. But this is, these are really, really good. Now, the sizes that I use mostly for these mighty hoops is the I have the 8x13, I have the 5x5, I have the 8x9. I also have the 14x14. I have several of the 8x9s here that I use a lot of. And I also use the 5x7s. And I was able to get my hands on, this is a repositional hoop. Mighty hoop, 14x14. Okay. This is Pretty cool. I can use this on my machine. It's the same concept as when you're using a 5x12 on a single needle. You can use a 14x14 on my machine as well. It's just, oh no, I'm sorry. This is 14x16. Sorry, 14x16. Just saw the size. I thought it was 14x14. Oh, okay. All right. But I have used this once on a blanket. Now, I will say this is for very huge embroidery designs. I don't like doing huge embroidery designs because you're talking about thousands and thousands. I mean, mega thousands of stitches, and you're going to be embroidering for quite some time. And it's not my favorite thing to do. So I think I've used this about maybe like 4 times. I think I've used this on 4 times for customers and stuff like that. But it's a very good hoop to have. Um, but it's this is not something that I don't think people would use a lot of. I think the best sizes for that is the 8, the ones that I have, which is the 5x5, the 8x13, the 8x9. I do have a 5x7 and a 6x10 as well. So, but those I only have one of each because I don't use it that much. Okay, usually the 5x5 is my go-to. And I see Mello showed up with his bone. Okay, now let me show you other hoops that I find are very useful for multi needle machines. Excuse me, Mello. Okay, all right. So thank you. I told you he's always right in front of where you want to be. Right, Mello? Okay, so when I first got my 6 needle machine, one of the things that I knew right off the bat that I wanted to embroider were laptops. So I wanted to do laptops because I was like, oh, that's something that a lot of people like, laptops, bags, and stuff like that, right? So what I did was I said I want to use fast frames. So fast frames are these, okay? Now the fast frames come with a its own bracket that you put on the machine when you want to use these. These as you can see, they're pretty they're pretty used, okay? I need to clean them. I've used them quite a lot, okay? I use them for small cases. I use them for book bags. I use them for hats. If I have a hat and I want to embroider the back of the hat, I use this one, the round, okay? I just fit the back of the hat in here, and then I just embroider the name on the back of the hat. I do also have a hat driver and a hat hoop, and Mello's in the way, but let me show you these. These are for like small little cases, and as you can see, I do use them quite a bit. I use these a lot. I use all the sizes. They, I only have one set, but I use every single size. And these are great. They really do make embroidering laptops and backpacks, and sometimes little things, makeup bags and stuff like that, tote bags. These are great. These are really great. Now I do know that there is something called dookie frames, and they come with clamps, and I have been eyeing those because I'm like thinking to myself, oh, I would really love to have. They're like this but with the clamp. What I have been doing is I have been using little clips to clamp them like this. I've been using paper clips to clamp them. Hey, whatever works, right? So and that seems to work fine. It seems to work fine and everything like that. But I just want to see how much the dookies cost to see if it's worth it and stuff like that. So as you can see, Mello's here. Okay, so he's in the way because I do want to show you something else. Oh geez, I'm not having a senior moment. Okay, hold on. So while he's in there, excuse me, Mello. Sorry, thank you. Okay, all right. So this is another hoop that I have. Okay. Thank you, Mello. All right, so multi-needle machines, okay. You have when you want to do baseball hats and everything like that, you know how in the SC 1900 you buy your hat hoops. Well, these are the hat hoop. Well, this is the actual driver. Okay, this is the driver, and the hat hoop is back there. Let me point at it so that way you guys can see. I'm right behind the machine, right here. Hi. This is the hat hoop. It's right here. As a matter of fact, let me take it out so that you guys can see what it looks like. All right. Okay. So there's two parts to it, okay? This is the actual hat hoop, and this is the hat driver, okay? So you would have to install the hat driver to your multi-needle machine, and then you would have to take the baseball hat and you would have to hoop it onto this, and then this will snap onto this on the machine, and then it will embroider. Okay, this is a whole other set. It doesn't, it depends on the brand that you get. I believe that in some embroidery machines that you buy, they provide you hat hoops, I believe. And I know Harmony's on here and stuff. When she got her Melco, I remember, I think she said, and Harmony, shout out and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Melco gave you guys as part of the package the hat hoops and stuff. And I don't know if they gave you one or two or whatever, but I have the brothers, and the brothers, no, you got to buy them, okay? So I only got one driver and one hat hoop, which, I don't do that many hats anyway, okay? I do sell hats, but I don't do that much of a large quantity. So to be honest, one driver and one hat hoop is okay for me. It works and stuff like that. But if you have a multi-needle machine and you want to do baseball hats, this really is a must. So whatever brand you go with, make sure that you look to see how much their hat hoops and their hat drivers are, or if they offer it with the package and stuff like that. So just something to think about and everything like that. So I think I went through the multi-needle machine stuff pretty quick because it's just really, I just have the hat hoop, the fast frames. I'm all about the mighty hoops because I love my mighty hoops, because I think the mighty hoops are really awesome. The hoops that actually came with the machine, I don't even touch them. Don't even use them. Right, Mello? He's all on the bone and stuff. And these are the bones that he loves. You gonna show him your bone, Mello? These are the bones that he loves. Because my sister got him hooked on that because she got him that bone for Christmas, and now it's like every time I go to PetSmart, that's exactly where he goes. He wants that bone, so he's addicted to his bones and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, I am let me go down and see if you guys have any questions about those hoops, okay? Any of the hoops for the multi-needle machines that I've just talked about. Let's see. Let me see if I can see. Hey, Patty, how you doing? Thank you. Let's see. Hey, Angela. Let's see. I have the dime hoop, clip it, attaches to sticky hoop. I also have a hoop guard for the onesies. You pull it over the guard. I'm gonna have to check into that, Miriam, because I really want to see. I heard a lot of great things about the dime hoop also and stuff, and I know a lot of people have used them and stuff. Let me see. Hey, Marlene, how you doing? Before I got the hat hoop, I did use the sticky stabilizer and it worked okay, but my replacement was slightly off. It does, yes, Nancy. You have to be careful how you actually insert the hat inside of the hoop. And the other thing also, if you have embroidery software, this is another trick that a lot of people do. You can print out the actual design of that you're going to embroider, and then what you can do is you can actually tape it to the actual item that you're embroidering, and that picture will show you the center point of your design, and that will help you to make sure that you are aligning the hat and the design correctly underneath the needle before you start embroidering, and that'll help and stuff. Takes a little practice, but you'll get there and stuff. Hey Judy, gotta have to watch the first half of this later. Just got off the phone with my boss, and I'm finally going back to work on Monday. Been off since last December due to health. So excited and so ready. Oh, that's awesome, Judy. I'm glad things are that you're feeling a lot better. You get back into the swing of things. Hey Debbie, any pointers for who? Oh, okay. I think I already mentioned that. Yep, Harmony mentioned the steaming. I think I went back a little bit too much. Okay. You saved me a lot of money buying. Hey, Walk by Faith, you're welcome. Oh, thanks, Ruth. Appreciate it. Let's see. I have 10 needle sewing machine, and I've invested in the sewing thing. Let's see. Hey Gail, how you doing? Hey Liliana, how you doing? Just finished work, huh? I just purchased 4 more of the 4.5 by 4.5 so I could do more pack pockets. Yeah, and that's the thing too. When you see that there is a particular size of hoop that you use a lot, sometimes it is worth it to buy those extra hoops. It really is. Let's see. Is there any... Hey Vanetta, how you doing? Oh, Joanne, my birthday is tomorrow too. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you too, Joanna. Feliz cumpleaños. Yes. Try dime hat hoops. I'm gonna try them. Yeah, they are expensive. That is one thing. When it comes to that is something that that is some getting tongue tied here. When you get to the multi-needle machines, that is one thing you're gonna really realize quickly is that the hat hoops. I'm getting distracted because of him and that bone. The hoops that you get for the multi-needle machines much more expensive than the hoops that you buy for single needle machines. Okay, because like I told you, those mighty hoops right off the bat, $150 a pop. That's what you're gonna be spending. Fast frames, God, I don't remember how much I paid. All I know is I got everything all at once when I bought my 6 needle machine. I just told them to throw everything together. But they are pricey. Okay, so the hat hoop, the driver, all of this, it really does cost. It really does. So I mean, just be ready for that. That's all I say. Just be ready for that. Hey Ozzy, how you doing? Is the hooping station only for magnetic hoops? They do have hooping stations for single needle machines, Nancy. But one of the things that I noticed is that some of the single needle the hooping stations for they're pretty expensive, the hooping stations. So it's like I don't know. For me, the hooping station for the multi-needle machine to me is $550. It was worth it for the simple fact that when you are embroidering a lot of shirts, especially doing logos, you need those logos to be the exact same spot in the right spot every single time. So it makes hooping the shirt precise and quickly all the time. I mean, it's really, really, really good. With the single needle machine, I really don't know how the hooping station would really work with the single needle machine. I know Ozzy is really good at the shirts and stuff because Ozzy has done a lot of shirts on the single needle machine. Him and Felix also. And I believe, Ozzy, let me know if I'm wrong, that you use a template. I remember, I don't know if it was you or Felix, that had put down and said, hey, there's a template for when you're hooping shirts on a single needle machine. And I believe there is. And I think that is probably the way to go. Hey, Leslie, how you doing? But Ozzy, let me know if I'm wrong and stuff, because I know you have done a couple of shirts and they really come out nice. I mean, all your shirts have the logo exact same spot, because I know you posted something a while back on our Facebook group, and it had the logo perfect and stuff. You're really good at that. Let me tell you, you're very, very good on those shirts and stuff. Hey, Martin. It's worth every penny, in my humble opinion. Yep, I saved up the amount I needed. Yep, it is, Mirror, and I think it's worth the magnetic hoops are really worth the money. Let's see. Let's see. Does anyone have a swing multi-needle machine? If you do you like it? You know, I don't know anyone that has that multi-needle machine. Ozzy. Hey, Kenya. Just getting in. Whose birthday is it? And I'm a Cancerian. Be celebrating on Sunday. It's my birthday. My birthday's gonna be tomorrow. So Kenya, you're right. You're right after me. So happy birthday to you. Jeanette, hope you have a wonderful birthday weekend. Oh, thank you, Judy. I appreciate that. One day I made $1,800 from one post. How are you doing that, Harmony? Man, I gotta reach out to you because I don't know how you do. I don't understand that TikTok stuff. Hey Connie, how you doing? Bobbins are okay. Yep, 90 weight. Okay. Oh, last Sunday. Oh, Karen, thank you. I appreciate for the super chat. Thank you so much. My little birthday present. Let's see. I still destroy caps. Don't be scared. Yep. And that's the other thing too. Yes, Harmony is correct. Don't be scared to try new stuff. You know, research and development, that's part of owning a business. You know what I'm saying? Just take a little bit of cash, buy some cheap hats or whatever, just so you could practice on and everything. And before you know it, you'll get really, really good at what you do and stuff. So don't be afraid to try new stuff and everything. And, I don't care who you talk to, okay, and what kind of expert they say they are. We all still make mistakes. We're always going to be making mistakes. I still screw up myself, so don't worry about that. Don't be afraid of that. Totally agree. Oh, there it is. Ozzy put it down. The shirt Temptations called it's $20 on Amazon. The embroidery helper, Nancy. So I would look into that. And so I'll order it for you and I'll send it to you. Don't worry. Hey Shirley, thank you. Yeah, Ozzy does miracles on that single needle machine. He does, Harmony. He rocks it. He really does. And so he needs to be teaching classes too and everything. So guys, I am going to call it the night. I think I showed you all of the mighty hoops, not the mighty hoop, but all the hoops that I have. I did show you mighty hoops, but I showed you all the hoops that I have. The reason why I wanted to do that was because, like I said, I had several people on the Facebook group kind of like have some questions about, the hoops for the SC1900, specifically the hat hoop and the mighty hoop. So I said, let me do a refresher and let me go down all the hoops and also kind of like tell you what, since I've been embroidering for quite some time, what have I found that I actually do use a lot and what I don't. Because sometimes what happens is you buy something and you think you need it. And then what ends up happening is you have it for quite some time. And then you're like realizing that you really aren't going to be using it. Kind of like that wire thing that I was showing you guys that I bought for baby onesies, and it just really didn't work out for me. And, like I said, if you could only afford one of the magnetic hoops for the SC1900, my investment would be, and you want it to be a magnetic hoop, okay? It has to be magnetic for you because that's what you want. Then I would say get the 5x12, and you can use the 5x12 as a 5x7 as well. And that way you don't have to go and buy two. I have two actually because when I bought my 5x7, they didn't have the 5x12 out there. So, that's why, I used it. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys and stuff. Hope you guys found tonight very, very helpful and that you guys learned a lot. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And I hope that you guys learned and stuff like that. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, talk to me. I can try to answer them for you and stuff like that and try to help you out the best I can. Ozzy, I know you're asking about that multi-needle machine, and I'm going to go and ask around and see if I can find out some information for you and stuff. And that's another thing too. There's so many multi-needle machines out there. Explore every single one of them. Find, nobody has the same needs. Okay, it's all about finding what is comfortable for you, what works for you. Okay, so Miss Max, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's so much. Thank you, I appreciate that. Hey Eve, how you doing? I mentioned you tonight. I hope you're doing okay and stuff. Thank you so much, Miss Max. I appreciate that and stuff. And I appreciated the other super chat too from the other lady. That was really nice. I think it was Karen. Yeah, I appreciate you guys and stuff. But I really just want to help you guys and stuff like that and everything, and just to make the right decision and stuff, because I don't want you guys to be. He's really loud with that bone. I don't want you guys to be wasting money if you don't have to and stuff like that. And everything. So, like I said, I don't use this one, but it's here stuff. So I am going to call it the night and stuff. And I just saw that Eve just showed up. Aw, and stuff. Eve, I was talking about before I say goodnight and stuff, I had talked about how you had mentioned, I'll never forget that video that you did where you were talking about the myths of embroidery, and you said embroidery is not cheap. I remember you said that, and boy, when you get into embroidery, you find that out real quick, that embroidery is not cheap. Every time you go to start something, you always end up having to buy either more thread, buy more needles, buy another hoop, buy more stabilizer, always something out there. So anyway, but guys, I am going to say goodnight because I got to turn this machine back on. This is an order that I really have to finish because I have to get it out in the mail tomorrow morning. And then I got to head into Richmond, Virginia, and help my son move out of his apartment and stuff like that, because he's moving into another apartment. It's really going to feel good when he's done with college and everything. But hey, that's my boob. That's my little baby, even though he's not a baby anymore and stuff. So he's probably watching. He's probably going to be like, oh, that's mom, But anyway, but got to take care of little man, right? So I want to go out there and make sure that he is situated okay. And, like I said, I'm going to say, now you got to take me out. So, so anyway, guys, I will see you guys later. And I do plan on putting out more videos out there. And if you guys have ideas or have questions or need help or something like that, you guys know where I am on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. Please send me those messages and stuff like that. As you guys know, for those of you that have already reached out, know that I am not afraid to help people. I'm okay with that. Don't worry about it. You're not bothering me. I'll do whatever I can to help you guys out. Okay. So you guys have a good one. And I am going to turn the machine back on, and this guy is going to keep eating his bone, as you can see. Mello, what are you doing, boo-boo? You eating that bone? Oh, my goodness. So as you can see, Nancy started something. So now I have to, every time we go to PetSmart, I got to get him that bone. So anyway, what can I do? Okay, so guys, have a great weekend. Happy sewing, happy embroidering, and I will see you guys next Friday at 8 o'clock. So I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a great weekend. Please be safe. Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes, and I will see you next Friday. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.